Hey, hi. How's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. Yeah, I had like a really nice morning and like just went for a quick little run. I'm trying to like build up to uh, 15 minutes of running continuously 3 times a week, and it seems to be going quite well. So, yeah. I used to hate running. It was like torture for me, but I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. So, any runners, please feel free to give me some tips. Guys, for today's class, I don't know if you saw the email, but if you could grab yourself a pillow, the best kind of pillow would be a fabric one, like say, for instance, a scatter cushion. Nothing too silky that would be too slippery. Um, if you don't have a pillow at home, then it's fine. It's not a it's not a train smash. And then something that resembles a block, a yoga block. So I would probably go for an upside down pot, like a pasta pot or something like that. Baking tin or the loaf tin would might be a little bit too narrow for today, but it could work. Okay. So if you did have a loaf tin, then you can give it a go. But if it felt a bit precarious, then maybe go for something else. Or, like I said, you could just use a step in your house. So you could just take your laptop with you, go to a step for that exercise, and then come back. For today, we're going to start looking at um, trying to open up the foot. Okay. We'll do some really familiar postures, but we're going to focus on the foot. If you do have foot stuff going on, some of the stuff might be quite intense. So, what I suggest for today is just get to know the feelings. Don't push yourself through pain. It's more of a time to discover your feet than to push through pain. Okay. Um, and that's pretty much it. So let's go straight on in. We're gonna start. Let me check my notes. Okay, we're gonna start. Um, let's take a moment just to come into a kneeling position on the mat to start with. Okay, so find this position here for me, guys. And I want you to see if you can literally just achieve a neutral spine. Okay, so we might like to do a little rounding into the lower back, a little arching into the lower back until you found kind of a happy medium. All right, I want you to take literally 30 seconds here to breathe down into your lower back. Okay, so we're breathing into the lower back. It seems like a crazy thing to say, but I want you to target your breath into that area. All right. Okay. Stay here. I just want to make sure that everything else is switched off on my computer. There's no lag. Perfect. Okay. So as you are here in your all fours position, we're going to bring our attention to our feet straight away. So if you're like me, you might notice that the top side of one of your feet is kind of contacting the mat in a different way to the other foot. Now, I want you to see if you can feel all 10 toes on your mat in this position. So notice if your foot is rolling in on one side or rolling out on one side. Imagine your heels were literally in line with your knees and in line with your sit bones. So my heels are not caving in, my heels are not rolling out. All right, from this position, we're going to keep our neutral spine and we're going to start to rock our sit bones back towards our heels. Okay, coming into a deep bend of the knees, deep bending into the hips. As you rock your bum back, just notice for me, my right bum cheek reaches my right heel before my left butt cheek does. So just notice if there's any kind of asymmetry there and see if you can even that out a little bit. And then bring yourself forward. Just notice if you can still feel all 10 toes on the mat. Okay, so keep that as best you can. All 10 toes on the mat. Pull your bum back as far as your knees are happy with, and then bring yourself forward. Go for 2 more. Noticing all 10 toes of your feet on the mat. Come back. And forward. Last time, noticing all 10 toes of your feet on the mat. Come back. Good. And forward. Really nice. Now, just like you would think about your feet, take a look at your hands just for a second. Press your fingertips down into the floor. So activate through those hands. Tuck your toes under. Try and get pinky toe tucked under as well. I always have to do that manually. And we're going to come straight up into downward facing dog. Right. Downward facing dog, take a few seconds here to settle in. So adjust your feet, adjust your hands. Don't worry about getting your heels to the mat. Bend your knees generously. Pull your rib cage up through the front of your body towards the sky. And relax the back of your neck. We're going to pedal through the feet. So you're going to press one heel towards the floor. Don't force it. Bend the opposite knee. Take a second here. Notice that you might feel the opposite hand press down into the floor a little bit more. And then swap. So press right heel into the floor, whichever one is the opposite. Heel into the ground. Pause. Notice the pressure of your opposite hand into the floor. Slowly swapping from side to side. Let's go for maybe 4 more on each side. You can do less if you want to spend more time in this position or in each position. Notice this cross-referencing from opposite foot to opposite hand. Yeah. Going for 3 more on each side. Very slow pedals. Last 2 pedals on each side. Still being aware of the opposite hand pressing into the floor. Last pedal on each side. And final one. Well done. Lower your knees back down to the mat. Now try and keep your toes tucked under for me here. If you feel like you've lost that, you can just reach back, and just kind of grab your toes and tuck them under. You'll be familiar with this position. So this is where you really need to start just listening to your own body and navigate how much weight your feet can handle. As you start to walk your hands back, maybe slide your hands up your thighs and sit your bum back onto your heels. So it's a super deep stretch. So uncomfortable. If we're breathing into it, okay? So we're going to take about 30 seconds here. Feel free to come out of it if you need to. And feel free as the stretch progresses to, gently bring your weight forward if it feels like, it escalates too much. Taking about 4 more breaths here. A lot of the time I find in this position, the stretch can actually get more intense as time goes on. Good, last breath. And then we're going to slowly bring our weight off of our feet, untuck your toes, and just shake them out. Shake, 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 like you would shake your wrists. Okay. From here, guys, we're going to sit on our booty, and I might come a little bit closer. Hopefully you can see me here. This is a bit of a strange one. You're going to take your left hand, right foot. All right. You can come into a cross-legged seat. You can sit on your pillow. You can sit with your back against the wall, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you're going to see if you can take your index finger, put it between your big toe and your second toe. Middle finger comes next, then the ring finger, and then pinky finger. So I'm literally trying to thread my fingers between my toes. My thumb is free, right? Try and get webbing to webbing here. So that's where it can be quite sore actually. The first time I tried this, I was like, oh, this is really painful. But the idea is that we're stretching the interconnective tissue, the fascia between the toes. You're just going to grab a hold of it like that. So try and get webbing to webbing. I'm really kind of glad I can't hear the moans and groans here. And you might just be in a state of like, oh my God, I can't do anything else. I'm just going to hang out here and try and breathe. But if it's bearable, then you're going to start to draw circles. So I'm mobilizing from this portion of my foot up. Okay, my ankle joint it might move, doesn't matter really. But I'm trying to mobilize and circle, almost like I'm stirring a tiny little pot of porridge. Yeah, that kind of thing. So mobilize. Let's go for maybe 5 more in this direction. If this is particularly painful, then it's an indication that you should try and do this daily, and it'll get better. It'll get way, way, way more bearable quickly. Reverse direction. Three, two, one, and then release straight over to the other side. It kind of feels weird once you let go of that foot usually. All right, other side, webbing to webbing. See how it goes. I haven't done this in ages, and I can actually feel it's started to stiffen up a little bit. All right, webbing to webbing, really try and get all your fingers all the way through, all the way down to the base of that space between each toe. Take a second. You don't have to do the circles if it's too much, but if you could, you start to circle. Great job, guys. Hope this is going all right for you. It can be quite sore, but it's good. It's really good for you. Let's go for 2 more in this direction. So I know a lot of guys who do martial arts would do warm-ups like this. And then reverse. I got these from a friend of mine who's really into Kung Fu. Let's go 3 more in this reverse direction. You can tell the side is more painful for me. And release. Slowly let go. Well done. Really great job. Okay, so from here, we're going to come back onto all fours. And again, we're going to tuck those toes under. Get pinky toe involved in the party. Sit back. If you wanted it to be a little bit more intense, bring your feet closer together and big toes to touch. Okay? And then again, we're going to try and sit back, trying to bring the heels of our feet close towards one another as well. So what you might feel with the feet closer, big toes closer, heels closer is like a way more intense feeling over the big toe. just don't go too deep into that if it's painful, okay? But we're breathing. So the big toe is crucial for the mechanics of our hips. So if this is a pretty intense feeling for you, just take it on board. Maybe practice it a bit more regularly. I'm going to spend about 4 more breaths here. So if this is not particularly intense for you, then the next stuff that we're about to do might be where you feel it, okay? Very nice. Okay, slowly come off of it, and we're going to come back into a downward facing dog. If you need to shake out the feet first, then shake them out. Otherwise, bring your feet a little bit wider, and we're going to come back up into down dog, and we're going to pedal out those feet again, all right? You can go a little bit quicker with the pedals this time. We're going to go for 10 and 9. Good, so you want to think about the feet and the muscles behind those calves, or in the calves, like elastic bands. We're stretching and then recoiling, and stretching and then recoiling. For 3 and 2 and 1. Very good job. Now bring your feet to stillness. Generously bend your knees into your downward facing dog. Most of you have done this with me before. You're going to pivot your heels, both of them, over to the left. So what's going to happen is your right foot is going to be able to go flat on the ground. So remember, today is about feet, so I want you to focus on that right foot. Try and root down through the pinky toe edge of that right foot. Okay? You might feel a stretch over the outside of the ankle. That's okay. Now I want you to kind of take that a little bit further. Maybe if you feel strong enough today, you're going to take your right hand away from the floor and come into a little bit of like a bend knee side plank. Okay, so I've got my back to you so that you can copy me. Keep rooting down through the pinky toe edge of that right foot. Really press it into the earth. If you feel like you want a bit more of a stretch, play around with straightening out that right knee and then bending deeper into it, keeping the foot firmly planted. Okay, and obviously we're working the left shoulder. Bend and straighten for 5 and 4. I'm probably going to guess that the shoulder is going to fatigue before you get over the feeling of the foot, but keep going if you can. 2 and 1. Take the right hand down, come back into your normal downward facing dog. If you feel like you need a break, take it. You can put the knees down if you need to, otherwise pedal out through the feet. Just notice the sensation over the right ankle. All right, we're going to take it over to the other side. So bring those knees, those feet to stillness. Generously bend through the knees. Let the heels pivot over to the right this time. Adjust your hands as needed. That right arm really needs to feel, right hand needs to feel super rooted. Root down through the pinky toe edge of that left foot. So really press into that pinky toe knife edge. Good job. Maybe you can take the left hand away from the floor. Yes, you've done it on the one side. You don't need to look at the screen for this. See if you can maybe just start to play around with that stretch. By bending and straightening out through, it'll be both knees, but I guess mostly the left. Going for about 5 more. And 4. And 3, notice if one side you're able to bend your knees deeper. 2 and 1. Well done. Place the left hand down. Let's lower the knees. Great job. Okay, that was a bit of sneaky hard work peppered in there for you. Okay, so from here, if you really struggle to be in this kneeling position, then you're going to use your pillow stuff it behind the knees and use it as a bit of a cushioning for your bum, okay? But otherwise, you want to try and practice getting used to being in this position. From here, you're going to take your hands back behind you, okay? Listen to your knees. I want you to see if you could maybe lift your left knee up off of the ground. So what we're thinking about here is stretching the muscles at the front of our left foot and shin, okay? So notice if you lift up that knee, you might feel the muscles kind of towards the left corner of your shin light up. If you had to move a little bit or rotate the thigh inwards a little bit and take it more over the big toe, you'd feel or the big toe portion of the foot stretch. Yeah, so you can play around with the angle of the stretch to get the portion of the foot that feels most intense to you. Okay, slowly take that left leg down and see if you can swap over to the right. Just notice any differences you might feel. Now, if your body's feeling pretty good about this, the fact that we're leaning back means that we're taking weight out of the stretch. So if I had to take my hands away from the ground and remove my hands from the floor, it would put a little bit more load into my foot. So you could try that if you were feeling confident about the situation. And then I want you to slowly swap from side to side. So lifting up the left, hanging out. And then slowly swapping over to the right. If you find one side is really in need of a little bit more time, then stick there, do you know? Maybe going for 2 more on each side. And swapping. I hope you guys aren't hating me right now. You can blame Dave. Last one each side. And final one. So a lot of these positions, I don't know, they were really new to me when I first found them. And you kind of neglect these areas, don't you? Alright, slowly take it down. Guess where we're going? Downward facing dog again. We're going to pedal it out, okay? So whenever you're ready, come back in to down dog. So I've got a really nasty treat for you coming next. I recently learned it. Oh my gosh. Okay, but for now, in your down dog, pedal out those feet. Pedal out the heels. All right, now bring your feet to stillness. Generously bend into your knees. Take your right foot just a smidgen off the floor. You don't have to like reach it up dramatically. Just take your right foot off the floor, and you're going to give me 10 ankle circles in any direction with that right foot. Going for 3, 2, 1. Reverse direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot down. Switch to the left. 10 ankle circles any direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Now, bring that left foot down, and you're going to lift your right foot up off of the ground. All right, now from here, you might need to take a look. So you can pop your knees down, take a look at me. I'm going to hook my right foot behind my left knee, left calf, all right? From here, I'm going to bring my knee down to the ground. I'm going to untuck the toes of my left foot. Now my right foot is a massage tool. I'm going to sit my butt back onto my right foot. This is called the calf cruncher. That's the name. I didn't make up that name. So you're going to sit back onto your right foot, and now your right foot is going to basically be like a foam roller pressing down into the left calf musculature. It's intense, at least for me it is. So find a weight that you can manage sitting back onto that left calf. All right, so whenever you're ready, I can demonstrate it again for those of you that might have been watching. So it was down dog, lift the right foot, hook it behind left knee, slowly lower down, untuck toes of left foot, sit your butt back, and then cry. If you don't feel anything in this position, okay, move your right foot into different places. So the higher you go, you might get more intense. For me personally, the lower I move my right foot down towards my heel, that really is intense for me. We're going to spend about 5 more breaths here. This is probably the most effective self-release for the calves I've ever discovered or found. And it can be pretty painful the next day. So just know if you do feel discomfort here tomorrow, it's because of this. Which is typical for myofascial release. Got about 3 more breaths. Try and relax into a little bit more. Try and relax the muscles of that left calf. Try and welcome in the weight. And last breath. Great job. Slowly come out of the position onto all fours, and we're just going to gently shake. You might get a sensation of like blood coming back in. Okay. All right, slowly back to down dog, gentle pedals out. Okay. And we're going to repeat the calf crunch on the other side. Yay! All right, so take your time. You know how to get in there now. Take your weight into your right foot, bend into the left knee, bring your left foot behind the right knee, and then lower the knee down. All right, untuck the toes of the right foot, and then slowly navigate your way back. Okay. It's so unpleasant. Again, feel free to move your left shin down. And we've got 5 breaths. You know, when I say 5 breaths, it usually turns into about 10, so. taking 3 more breaths here. Start to try and welcome in that left foot. It's just finding that calm within the storm, really. And last breath. Really, really beautiful job, guys. Well done. Okay, so slowly come off of it. All right. Okay, last time to downward facing dog for now, and we're going to come back into that bent knee side plank. Okay, again to stretch out the sides of the feet. All right, hands underneath the shoulders, and we come up into down dog. Pedal out those feet. I'm hoping that at this stage the calves are starting to feel loosened up, hopefully. All right, bring the feet to stillness. Bend generously into those knees. Pivot both of your heels over to your left. So the idea is that we're going to get the right foot super rooted down into the ground. Okay, so encourage as much of that as you can. Really root down into that pinky toe edge. Maybe once you've got that left hand feeling solid, remove the right hand if you wanted to, and you can play around with bending deeper into that right knee. Left knee will bend as well, and then you can straighten. Okay, root down through that pinky toe edge. Bend, 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 straighten. Bend. Let's go for 2 more. I have particularly tight ankles, so I'm hoping you guys also feel the stretch here. All right, right hand down, coming to center for a second, and straight over to the other side. Let's bend into the knees, pivot the heels over to the right, root down through that pinky toe edge on the left foot, and then bend and straighten. So you always want to think about sending the knees over the toes as you bend. Going for maybe 3 more. And 2. Last bend. Bring it up, pivot, and we're going to come down onto our knees. Absolute last time. Okay, so you're going to try to keep those toes tucked under. All right, and we're going to practice something that's a little bit more intense, more in terms of core really than feet necessarily. But you're going to bring your hands or your shoulders into an externally rotated position. So I'm turning my hands out to the side, 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And I'm going to put my hands like that really close to my knees. So I'm not here, I'm here. Okay? All right. Now, this is a stretch for your hamstrings as well. So try and get your knees as straight as possible. Make that your main aim. We're going to try and push down into the floor through our hands. Toes are tucked under, and you're going to lift your knees up off of the ground and come up into the closest thing you can get to a forward fold. So if the heels can touch the ground, that's awesome. If not, just get as close as you can. You might end up in a bent knee shape. That's cool. And then super slowly come down, 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 down. Feel the shoulders work, and feel the stretch in your feet as you come back to the floor. And push, lift, 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 lift. Maybe you can straighten. And come down, 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 down. Good. Go for 1 more like this, and then we're going to add on. Okay? So lift, 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 and down, 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 down. All right, I should have said actually, if that feels just impossible, use your pot or your block to elevate your hands, and that's going to make your life a little easier. Okay, so a demonstration like that, pressing it straight down into the floor, it's going to help me straighten my legs a little bit more. So if you wanted to add that in, you could. All right, so adding in a teeny bit extra here. Once my knees find the ground, I'm going to see if I can take my hands away, shift back, huge amount of weight in my toes here. Okay, that can be intense. So you might, just walk one hand back, walk the other hand back. Yeah. Feel the stretch at the front of the body. And then walk it forward or take the weight forward again. Hands come to your block and lift up. Okay, 2 more like that. Slowly take the knees down, down, down. Stretch to the feet. Navigate your bum as close back to the heels as you can. I mean, if you're back there, that's cool. You could take your hands to your heels and stay quite lifted. All right? One hand back, other hand back. And then come forward, lift, lift. Last time like that. As I add on, feel free to stick with any variation that suits you. So you could be here, which is more intense on the feet, or you could be up and here, which can be quite intense on the spine in a good way if you're keeping the lower back lengthened. All right, last iteration, we're going to come up and we're going to come down. This is a slightly different one. Untuck your toes. Sit your butt back. Lift one knee. Lift the other knee. Maybe both of them can come up at the same time, or you could just lower the other. Maybe both can lift at the same time. Feel the stretch in the feet. Take it down. Now watch my toes are going to stay untucked. Maybe you can press down into the front of the feet. Lift. It's quite intense. And slowly lower. Now I did the full really intense variation there. You could literally lift like that. Lower down. Come back. Shift one knee up. And then you could take that knee down. Other knee up. Take that knee down. Or both up. And bring it forward. Grab your block. You're going to lift those knees as high as your feet feel able for. Okay? So press down through pointed toes. Lift. Slowly down. And last time we come back. Lift. Lift. You could do both at the same time. Or you could lower the one that you've just lifted and lift the opposite one. Great job. Okay, slowly come out of it. I know all of that stuff is weird and intense, but if you made it through, then really, really well done. All right. So we're coming into a little bit more kind of traditional ankle rehabilitation. So if you've ever sprained your ankle, which I'm sure most of us have, this exercise is not only a test for chronic ankle instability, but also rehabilitation for chronic ankle instability. So I think we may have done it together. We're going to stand on one leg here. So I'm going to be on my right leg, all right, with a soft bend into my right knee. You're going to imagine 4 points, the points of a compass, around you. So north is in front, south is behind you, east, west. All right, your east might look like it's that way. That's fine, right? You just know that you're going north, east, south, west. So I'm going to lift my left foot off of the ground, okay? Keeping a soft bend into my right knee. I'm going to bend even deeper into my right knee. My right heel has to stay on the ground, and I'm going to reach forward through my left foot and come back up, okay? I'm going to go this way next. Same idea. Out to the side, out to the side, out to the side. My right knee is going over my second toe and then coming back up. Now I'm going to go back behind me. I'm going to probably touch the wall, but anyway, coming back. The idea is to reach as far back as you can and up. Now keep the knee going forward as you reach your free leg behind you and over to the side. Bam. And up. Now the true test is to do all of that keeping your hands on your hips. So try not to let your hands come away from your hips. Reach north and up. Good. Reach that way. Whatever that is to you. It's probably east to you. South. Coming into dorsiflexion of the ankle. So I want my ankle to bend. East. Just a tap and then up. Let's go one more time. And reach north and up. And east. And up. South. And up. And that way. And up. Great job. Well done. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it up. Great toning for the glutes as well. Let's come over to the left leg. All right, so my range of motion in my left is less than my right, so I might not be moving as much, but definitely try and keep the effort the same. All right, so we're going to reach north and up. Good. And bam, out to the side. And up. All I want to do is take my hands away from my hips. Reach back. And up. And over and across. And up. And reach. Bam. And up. This is like my fullest concentration right now. Reach it back. And to the side. And last time, take it forward. Take it out to the side. Take it back. And reach back and across. Bam. And up. Great job. Really, really nice. Okay, cool. So we've stretched out. We've also now just kind of reactivated. So we're going to come into a little bit more dynamic stabilization movements. And this is where you're going to need your pillow. If you don't have a pillow, don't worry about it at all. I don't have a pillow that's safe because all my pillows are like silky ones and they're just going to slide all over the place. So if your pillow, just do a quick little test. Put your foot onto the pillow on your mat and just slide your foot up and down. And if it feels slippy, chuck it away and do this on the floor, okay? I really don't want you to jump onto something and then it slide out from underneath you. Don't want that to happen, okay? So, but we're not going to jump just yet. You're going to put your pillow, whatever you've got, to your left-hand side. All right, you're going to step up onto it. The pillow is an uneven surface, so the purpose of that is to wake up the proprioceptive system in your foot. You're going to take up your weight, balance, maybe for a count of 3, and then just like you bent your knee in the previous exercise, you're going to come down, step out to the side. Pretty simple, but I want you to spend a bit of time stabilizing on the uneven surface before you come down. Okay? Let's go for maybe 8 to 10. You're welcome to do less. Yeah. Nice. That's it. I remember doing some of these exercises with you guys before online classes were a thing. 2 more. Last time. And down. Okay, we're going to go straight over to the other side. Exactly the same thing. And we'll make it a bit more intense the next round. Okay, so step up. Catch it. Feel your foot wobble around. Come down. Yeah? Step up. Catch it. Come down. Keep on going. If you want to spend longer in the balance, that's totally cool. Yeah? Nice. Try not to chance it. Make sure that you actually have stabilized yourself. 2 more. And last time. Good. And down. Well done. Well done. Okay, so we'll keep it on this side. We're going to take it to a little bit more of a dynamic movement. For this, I want you to face it. Okay, so the dynamic movement is going to be, I'm going to land on the pillow or the surface with the opposite foot that I jump off of. So if I jump off of my right, I'm going to land on my left. Whoop. Try and stabilize it. And then step back. Okay, and then hop, land, and then step back. You could alternate from foot to foot. Okay, there's nothing stopping you from alternating. And down. And down. So we're going to go for about 6 more of these. If this is already like pretty intense or complex for you, then you'll stick with it and you won't go to the next exercise. Last 2. I haven't done this stuff in ages. Last time. Good. And down. If you wanted to progress one little teeny extra bit, instead of jumping forward onto the object, we're going to try and jump to the side. So instead of just stepping up, we're going to jump up and then jump back into the unknown. Okay? Jump up. You'll do the same side 5 times. And then jump down. Okay? Stabilize it once you've landed. And then jump down. And then jump down. 2 more. Jump down. Last time. And up. And down. Straight over to the other side. If you're doing the jumps facing your pillow, just keep going. Or you could always give this a try if you wanted to. And jump. Whoop. Jump down. And jump. Whoa. This is not my strong side. And jump. And down. 2 to go. And jump. And down. Last time. Jump. And down. Amazing job. Really, really strong. Okay, so these are all cool little things that you can do to help you with your balance and your proprioception. Last exercise, we're going to use our block or your upturned pot or your step. Okay, so It's always nice if you're going to be working, especially at a step, to have something to hold on to. So the wall, the banister, you know. All right, so I'm going to be standing up on the block with the foot that I want to address, the foot that I'm working. Okay. All right. And I'm going to lift up into a calf raise. I'm holding onto the wall. And then I'm going to slowly, slowly lower my heel down until it dangles as much as possible. So I want to almost find this optimal positioning of my foot where my heel can really hang over the edge. Okay, so I'm dropping my heel down, coming up, slowly down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up and slowly down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up. Slowly down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the heel hang and straight the way back up. I probably said that was the last one. Let's do one more just for fun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the heel hang. Come straight the way back up and then step off the block. Good job. Straight over to the other side. Exactly the same thing. We're going to repeat this twice. Okay. So what we're doing right now is called an eccentric load for the Achilles tendon. It's really great for chronic tendinopathies. So I'm going to lift my heel up and then the slow eccentric coming down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try and let the heel hang straight the way back up and come down. 5, 4. Keep the pelvis pointing forward. 3, 2, 1. And straight the way back up. 3 to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up. Last 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up last time. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up and then step off, shake it out. Great job. We're going to take it over to the original side one more time. We've got probably enough time to do 8 reps on each side. Hopefully that's not too much. All right, so coming back to the original foot that we were working. I found this one very wonky actually. All right, so finding that optimal position where your heel can actually dangle nicely so you can get the Achilles tendon into a nice lengthened position at the bottom of the movement, you know? All right, okay, and we're going to come up, slowly down for 5, 4. Keep the big toe on the block or the pot or whatever you're on. 3, 2, 1, and straight the way back up, and coming down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel down and straight the way back up, slowly coming down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel hang and straight the way back up. Almost lost it there. Coming down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up. You got 3 to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And straight the way back up. Coming down. 4, 5, 4. Glute might start to burn. 3, 2, 1. And straight the way back up. Try and get as high as you can. Lift, lift, lift. And then slowly down. 5, 4, 3. You can do it. Don't give up. 2, 1. Straight away back up as high as you can. Lift and slowly come out of it. Woo-hoo. Hope you felt that as I did. Like straight the way up into my bum. All right, coming up. So don't forget the sciatic nerve supplies a lot of the musculature in the calf as well, especially these guys on the side here. So you might feel a connectedness there, you know? All right, other side. Making sure that the foot is placed in such a way that the heel can hang over the edge. And we're going to try for 8. Lifting up. Coming up as high as you can. Keep the big toe in contact with your surface that you're on, and then slowly down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try and let it hang, and then straight the way back up. Slowly down. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and straight up. Coming down. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and straight the way back up. 5 to go, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and straight the way back up. Keep it up, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mine is starting to burn. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight the way back up. 2 to go. Fight for it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up as high as you can. Lift, lift, lift. And then slowly down. Slowly, slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift and come down. Oh, great job. Amazing. Get rid of it. All these crazy things. And while you're in standing, I'm not going to let you come all the way back down to your feet, to your knees or anything, but we're just going to use the wall. Hopefully you've got a wall or a couch or a chair, whatever. Just going to come into a standard calf stretch. So hopefully you guys can still see me here. I'll place my hands against the wall, pretty standard, but don't kind of yank your body into this. Slowly load, placing the heel back into the floor, feeling the contact with the heels, the heel of the back foot, big toe, pinky toe, breathing into the stretch. Good. We're going to hold this for 2 more breaths, and then we're going to change it ever so slightly. So by keeping the knee straight, we're stretching our gastrocnemius and our soleus. So we're just going to do one tiny little change here. Back knee is going to micro bend until you feel the stretch change to lower down in the ankle at the back of the calf there. Say hello to soleus. Okay, so once we bend that knee, you might feel an increased stretch. That's very normal. Okay. Holding here for 5, 4. Try not to dump down into the big toe. Keep the pinky toe contact. 3, 2, 1. Slowly out of it. Swapping to the other side. Press back, this time with a straight knee. That back knee is relatively straight. Pressing the heel down into the floor. Little tuck through the tail. Can be quite nice here. And you're pressing the pelvis forward. So it's as if I'm trying to press my pelvis towards that pot plant. Feel the big toe edge, feel the pinky toe edge, feel the heel. Well done. Now from here, again, you might not notice much movement because this is quite tight on me, but I'm going to try and bend into my back knee. And we're now, by bending the knee, cutting out gastrocnemius, focusing more on soleus. Holding and breathing. Keep pressing the pelvis forward. Don't let that back heel lift off of the ground. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we come out of it slow. Okay? So no sudden movements when we're loading the tendon passively like that. And then, my friends, you are 100% done. So I really want to know how that went for you, because I'm curious to know if it was like impossible or if it was actually doable. Okay, are we still friends?